My name is Sofia Vergara.
Sofia Vergara is not only one of the most beautiful women in the world, she is also one of the most successful. With that said, who wouldn't want to have her children? Well, her ex-boyfriend is definitely one person who does. Everyone thought the actress was living the perfect life with her husband, but she was also in a grueling battle with her ex. Loeb was trying to force her to have his kids. Sofia Vergara had a tough upbringing with her parents constantly at war at home. So, at the tender age of 18, she married her high school sweetheart. Their union lasted 3 years, ending shortly after the couple welcomed their son, Manolo. Vergara eventually moved to the US with her son and raised him as a single mom.
What's it like growing up with like a hot mom?
Remember, all mothers are beautiful.
However, her and her ex have remained on good terms. He even stays with her when he comes to visit. The actress then met Chris Paciello, a Miami club owner, and they fell madly in love. But Chris had a dark side. He was reportedly a member of the Bonono crime family. In 2000, he was charged with felony murder. Sofia remained loyal to her love and put up her Miami home as collateral toward her boyfriend's $50 million bail. He eventually pled guilty to murder, and in exchange for providing information on his fellow mobsters, received a shortened sentence of 6 years in prison. Once he was convicted, he and Vergara split. While Vergara always hoped she would meet Mr. Right, she also knew she didn't have to rely on a man to find happiness.
You'd be open to getting married again, or we don't know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I believe in love. I believe in being happy.
I think the beauty of a woman nowadays is that we can do everything. We have more options, and we should do everything we can, she said. Then, in 2010, it seemed like she finally found Mr. Right when she met businessman Loeb at a party. Because of her accent, people always dismissed her as a ditzy Latin woman, so when she met Nick, she finally felt like she found someone who would support her and take her seriously. We have a very happy relationship, she said. After just 8 months of dating, the couple went through their first challenge. Loeb was critically injured in a car accident. He ended up in ICU after his car went off the road. Luckily, Vergara wasn't with him at the time. He made a full recovery and the actress stood by his side through it all. Nick is doing very good. Pelvic fracture. Lots of pain, but he is going to be okay, she wrote on Twitter. After 2 years of dating, Nick got down on one knee and asked Sofia to marry him. She said yes, and the happy couple couldn't wait to start planning their dream wedding.
After so many years working, you know how to delegate, you try not to do everything yourself.
It's either I do something really big or I do something really small with Nick and I and my son, and then my mom, and then my cousins, and then it's impossible, she said. At the same time, Vergara's career was taking off as she became a hit for her role as Gloria Pritchett on the series Modern Family. Soon, Loeb began pressuring the actress into another role. He wanted her to have more children with him. She was once asked in an interview if she considered having more children, and she said, "Yeah, of course, because of him. He's much younger than me. He's never had kids, so I'm sure he is going to put pressure." The happy couple decided to secure their future by freezing an embryo with his sperm and her egg, which they plan to use with a surrogate. Why couldn't Sofia carry their child herself? Well, it started with a terrifying diagnosis when she was just 28 years old. Vergara was told that she had thyroid cancer.
When you're young and you hear that word cancer, your mind goes to so many places.
When they tell you that word, you immediately think death. So it was pretty scary, she said. It was difficult to break the news to her son, and she didn't want to make it a big deal because he was so young at the time. She told him that she was sick, taking medicine, and soon would have to have her thyroid taken out. The young Sofia made a full recovery from the cancer, but was told that it would be very dangerous for her to fall pregnant again. She is so goofy and vibrant, you wouldn't know she went through so much, right? Vergara had always wanted more children, so she was happy to build a family with Loeb. However, she wasn't in any rush to get married or start that family. After being engaged for 2 years, Sofia's career was bigger than ever and she was working a lot. This led Nick to give her an ultimatum. He wanted to have kids soon, and if she refused, she would lose him. "As I was coming on 40, I gave her an ultimatum. When she refused, we split up," he said. Yeesh. When they split, it was assumed they were geographically incompatible as Vergara lives in Los Angeles, while Loeb calls New York City home. But according to the businessman's publicist, while he wanted a family, the Colombian beauty was more interested in fame. "The most important thing for me is to get married and have kids. I completely understand. She's at the height of her career and she's taking advantage of her 15 minutes of fame because who knows how long that will last," he said. Whoa. It wasn't long until Sofia also had something to say about their split. She was tired of the press inventing crazy and hurtful drama about their breakup. She wanted to tell her fans personally what went down, and what she said was very amicable. She even said that despite their separation, the two remain good friends. "We've been having too many problems with figuring out how to spend time together, and because of my work and now his, it's been getting worse and worse. Not fun anymore," she said. It also wasn't long until Vergara moved on. When the actress met Joe Manganiello at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, she was actually accompanied to the event by Loeb. Within 1 month after her split from the businessman, the actress began dating Joe.
Did you know that she was the one? Like, when did you know that?
I knew, like, right away.
These two lovebirds got engaged after just 6 months of dating and are married to this day. And while there are rumors that Nick has never moved on from his ex, he seemed to be supportive of her new relationship. He said that Joe was a smarter choice for Sofia, and the exes seemed to be on good terms. They are much better suited for each other, he said. However, once Vergara and Manganiello got married, Loeb came back. He wanted control over the embryos that they had created together, and this was going to be the beginning of a 2-year-long battle for the custody rights over the frozen embryos.
It has nothing to do whether that her baby or a baby. Lives were already created.
Nick decided to write an op-ed speaking to his view on keeping the embryos frozen and expressing his disappointment in Sofia's choice. Keeping them frozen forever is tantamount to killing them. It's sad that Sofia, a devout Catholic, would intentionally create babies just to kill them. They're already alive. I can give these children a wonderful life, he wrote. This paved the way to a very closely watched and controversial case over 2 embryos where Loeb sued Vergara for the rights. Throughout the court case, Nick went on several talk shows for an interview, and he was asked several times why he doesn't just move on. His response was that of course he would like to, but it doesn't mean he should just give up on the 2 lives he has created. The first case took place in Los Angeles, and the court rejected Nick's requests. Then he decided to go to Louisiana, as they are a pro-life state. Allegedly, he attempted to manipulate the court system with this. The first thing working in Sofia's favor was the contract her and the businessman signed. The contract stated that neither of them would bring the embryo to term without the other's consent. However, Loeb argued that he signed this form under duress. The businessman went on to say he signed the contract even though he didn't agree with it to avoid further verbal and physical abuse from the actress. More than a mother, a child needs a loving relationship of parents that don't hate each other. I don't hate him, but obviously he has a problem with me. I wouldn't imagine bringing kids in where everything is set up wrong for them. It'd be so selfish, she said. Sofia and her lawyers then revealed something during the trial that forced Nick to drop the suit. It was explained that 2 of Nick's former girlfriends had abortions. This went against what he was fighting for, as he encouraged both the abortions. As a result, the court found that sufficient grounds exist for permanent injunctive relief, meaning that Loeb is unable to use the embryos or sue on behalf of them in any capacity without Vergara's consent.
I really want to make this like the last time I talk about it because I don't think it's fair.
Subsequently, the court sided with Vergara. Throughout the court case, she realized she was fighting to control her life, and she was not going to let anyone control her life anymore. I don't want to allow this person to take more advantage of my career and try to promote himself, she said. After the case, Loeb went on to write, direct, and star in a movie about a doctor that went from pro-choice to pro-life. Sofia has finally been able to move on from the traumatic court case with Nick Loeb. She is happier than ever with her husband and her son. The actress managed to handle herself with grace throughout the entire ordeal, and in a typical Sofia way, with kindness and grace. Let us know in the comments if you think Nick is still hung up on Sofia. This has been Rumour Juice. Be well and be kind.